You have a six-figure salary, yet you still feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck. Why is that? Well, most high earners are trapped in a cycle of invisible psychological anchors and lifestyle creep that keeps them functionally broke. Today, we're dismantling the scarcity mindset and rebuilding your financial architecture to turn high income into actual wealth. Hi, I'm Chalekian, and for over 25 years, I've been helping individuals build, preserve, and enjoy their wealth. Let's dive in. You've reached the income goal you once dreamed of, yet the financial anxiety hasn't disappeared. Welcome to the paradox of high income poverty. Right now, the 2026 cost of living crisis is hitting high earners in a unique way. It's driven by lifestyle inflation and stagnant net worth. You might be experiencing cognitive dissonance, earning six figures, but still living paycheck to paycheck because of invisible social pressures. The truth is, maintaining an affluent facade that lacks a solid financial foundation is emotionally exhausting. Your bank balance grows, but your sense of security shrinks. So why does this happen? Earning more won't fix a broken psychological relationship with money. It basically comes down to the biology of the upgrade. Let me explain. Unfortunately, our brains are wired in a way where the dopamine response to new purchases creates this treadmill effect where no salary increase ever feels like enough. We also suffer from mimetic desire, meaning your spending is dictated by the perceived success of your peers rather than personal utility. Combine that with our current economy of automated digital consumption, and high velocity spending feels entirely frictionless. To fix this, we have to isolate those emotional triggers. We all have invisible psychological anchors. For many, a scarcity mindset lingers from earlier life stages, causing high earners to overcompensate through status signaling. Then there's the deservedness trap. I often fall into this one. You have a high-stress career, so you use expensive, impulsive rewards as a form of emotional self-medication. And finally, there is the fear of social dissent. The dread of losing your status prevents you from making unnecessary lifestyle corrections. You are essentially creating an anchor that drains your capital. It's time to stop the intentional sabotage of your success and replace survival instincts with a sophisticated architecture for intentional wealth. We need to shift your focus from restrictive budgeting to wealth building by prioritizing where your money goes over superficial consumption. To help you with this, I recommend using the friction method. This strategy is designed to disrupt impulsive spending and help you reestablish a conscious connection with your assets. Let me share a few examples. The first one is the delete the details tactic. The easiest way to introduce friction is to delete your saved credit card information from Amazon, Apple Pay, and Chrome. If you want to buy something, force yourself to physically get up, find your wallet or purse, and manually type in those 16 digits. You'd be amazed at how many purchases you abandoned simply because you didn't feel like getting off the couch. Next is the 48-hour cart quarantine. Stop treating your online shopping cart like it's a checkout counter. Treat it like a quarantine zone. If an item is non-essential and costs over a certain threshold, say $100, it must sit in the cart for a mandatory 48 hours. When the dopamine spike of the initial want wears off, you'll often find you don't actually need it. And lastly, we have the hours worked conversion. Before you make a lifestyle upgrade, translate the dollar amount into hours of your life. Divide the cost of that luxury item by your actual hourly take-home pay. When you realize that upgrading your car means sacrificing 200 hours of your hard-earned time, the friction suddenly becomes very real and the purchase loses its appeal. Ultimately, you must decouple your professional identity from luxury indicators so you can reclaim your mental and financial bandwidth. We need to define a final shift for you, moving from merely being a high-income earner to becoming a high-net-worth individual with sustainable peace of mind. To do this, we must establish entirely new metrics for success. You will prioritize financial independence and returns on your investments over depleting your cash reserves on a monthly basis. So what does this look like in practice? First, stop measuring success by what you can finance. Instead of asking, can I afford the monthly payment? Start tracking your passive income coverage ratio. Ask yourself, how much of my current lifestyle is funded by my investment dividends and interest? Second, measure your time wealth. If you stop working today, how many months could you maintain your current lifestyle without touching your principal? When you start measuring your wealth in months of freedom rather than dollars spent, items like luxury cars and designer clothes suddenly look like prison sentences for your future. To help you make the shift, I want you to initiate a 30-day psychological reset plan to align your daily spending habits with your long-term legacy goals. Here is your blueprint for the next month. In week 1, you will conduct the emotional audit. For 7 days, track every non-essential purchase and write down exactly how you felt right before you bought it. Were you stressed, bored, trying to impress someone? Identify the invisible psychological anchors driving the transaction. Then in week 2, you will do a dopamine detox. Implement a strict freeze on all discretionary digital spending. Delete your saved cards from Apple Pay, Google Wallet, and Amazon. Force yourself to sit with the discomfort of not buying the upgrade. Then, during week 3, you will have a legacy alignment. Take the money you didn't spend in week 2 and immediately redirect it into your investment account. Visually map out how this capital allocation serves your long-term legacy instead of a quick dopamine hit. And finally, in week 4, you will set up the new architecture. Now you're ready to reintroduce discretionary spending, but strictly through the friction method we discussed earlier. Establish these hurdles as your new permanent financial baseline. By replacing emotional spending triggers with this intentional wealth architecture, you can finally reclaim control over your capital. If you're ready to build your wealth and engineer your financial independence, hit that subscribe button and head over to 𝐿𝐿𝐶halekian.com where I share a ton of free resources. Also, if you want to make sure your newly reclaimed capital is invested correctly for the year ahead, go check out my video, Your 2026 Financial Roadmap. I'll link it right here on the screen. Remember, financial independence isn't an accident, it's engineered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.